most important news for the week was another hostage-taking incident. This time, some Manobo tribesmen abducted 15 school teachers in the province of Agusan del Norte, Agusan del Sur. The hostages were held by the tribesmen for about 4 days, and in the initial negotiations, it got a little bit complicated and nothing was decided. The Manobo tribesmen were not asking for any financial considerations. What they were asking for was the release of one of their fellow tribesmen who had been imprisoned, and what they wanted was an exchange deal. The government finally relented to their demand, and this would seem a little bit strange because they were breaking the law. However, the Philippine Constitution guarantees Filipino tribes, just like the Native Americans, certain rights based on their culture, their own laws, and in the case of the Manobo tribesmen, the government had to bend over backwards. The hostage-taking incident at least ended happily. The hostages were released unharmed, and the government was left with this very complicated problem: either to let the hostage takers free, which after they had committed a crime, or to just let it pass. It was not really a hostage taking in the classic sense. There was no intention on the part of the tribesmen to do serious harm to the teachers. They just wanted one of their own tribesmen back. The hostage takers, incidentally, were all grade school dropouts. Not to say anything against their intelligence, but they simply did not understand or do not understand the workings of the law. At least, this hostage-taking incident did not end the way another incident happened in August of last year. We all know what happened. 8 tourists from Hong Kong were killed, and it happened in the city of Manila, the capital of the Philippines. In this case, Agusan del Sur, no harm, no foul. Saturday, April 9, was Araw ng Kagitingan, or National Heroes Day, and President Aquino took time to deliver a speech extolling the virtues of our war heroes, those men and women who fought and died for the country. But he also spoke highly of the unsung heroes who have dedicated their lives for the greater glory of the Republic of the Philippines. One name cropped up at about this time, and that would be former President Ferdinand Marcos. The late President Marcos may have been a dictator, declared martial law, held power for 20 years, but that does not erase the fact that during World War II, he was a much decorated war hero. For political purposes, he seemed to have exaggerated some of his war exploits, including the number of medals. There was even talk that he was supposed to be a recipient of the U.S. Medal of Honor. Simply not true. But the fact is, Ferdinand Marcos, long after he has died, is still an issue. The House of Representatives has taken moves to request the Aquino administration to allow that the remains of Mr. Marcos finally be interred at the libingan ng mga bayani. This was the late dictator's final wish before he passed away. President Aquino has remained non-committal on the issue. He said that he has his own personal biases, therefore, he will not involve himself in the decision. Yet another piece of news that hogged the headlines seemed a little bit trivial because it involves TV host Willie Revillame. It is known, it's become a worldwide issue because a certain dance number performed by a 6-year-old boy in his show Willing Willie was posted on YouTube, had several 100,000 views. It has since been removed. And that incident happened as far back as March 12. However, in the aftermath of that video going viral, the reaction has been generally negative against Willie Revillame. For one, the DSWD, Department of Social Welfare and Development, and then the Commission on Human Rights raised a howl over that very sad event. Mr. Revillame was actually goading and laughing at the child as the child was crying and performing a macho dance to the delight of his crowd there in the Channel 5 studio. Reaction, again, has been generally negative. So negative, in fact, that advertisers started to pull out of the show of Mr. Revillame. For now, the show, Willing Willie, has gone on hiatus. It will be out for 2 weeks, and then Channel 5 will decide whether to continue with the show, revise it a bit, or axe it totally. In the meantime, Revillame has been engaging some of his fellow showbiz denizens in a war of words, or actually a war of tweets. Among those that he has taken exception with for their negative comments are Jim Paredes, the Abo Hiking Society, singer Aiza Segura, and Lea Salonga. Revillame has threatened to sue them for libel. Now, he's making a big mistake here. Instead of the expected mea culpas and partaking of some very much needed humble pie, Revillame is unwisely going on the offensive, even as he positions himself as the champion of the poor. As the Bible says, you reap what you sow. What we're seeing now is the universal law of karma at work.